Anyway, thank you, Marina, for joining me today. I really appreciate coming and having a chat to me and talking a little bit more about what we were doing together. So welcome.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So I have a couple of questions for you, and I've written them down, but I'm going to ask you a few questions about our time together and what you got out of our working together. So we worked together for 12 weeks, so 3 months, and we would meet once a week for 60 minutes and we would have sessions together. So the first question I wanted to know is, can you tell me a little bit more about who you are and what you use English for in your role or what you do in a job?
Yeah, sure, with pleasure. So I am a former architect who has gone into marketing and innovation, and actually I help architects and designers um, improve their business using marketing and mindset. So I have actually two types of clients. One type is Italian speaking clients because I am French and Italian. Well, I could have also the English, the French ones, but for the moment I am focusing on the Italian and the English one.
Mm-hmm.
So for the English speaking architects, my aim is to be able to bring my message that they should market themselves better and that they should work better and feel better in their job uh, globally. So for that, I needed English as the common language.
Okay, great. So it's a very important aspect of your job to be able to communicate with architects about what they need to do.
Yes, that was really, really important for me because I really wanted to have this possibility to get in touch with architects and designers all over the world, and I can't do that without using English and
Mm.
using English at the best of what I can actually.
Yes, exactly. Because a lot of people speak English across the countries in Europe as well. So it's the common language, isn't it?
Yes,
Mm,
indeed.
great. And so, how did you feel beforehand, before we worked together? So we had met each other before. And how did you feel about your English and using English in your role?
Okay, so that's an interesting question because I all the main part of my own training in marketing and in coaching has been held in English anyway. Uh, so I'm really listening and kind of talking and doing work in English 1 day out of two, if not each day. Um, but at first, that was just a way to get knowledge and trainings and then translate it into the Italian. And when we met, when we met the first time, so not when we started our coaching together, but when we met the first time, I was on the verge of choosing to address also the English speaking market for architects and designers. And I have kind of jumped into that, opening a Facebook group with architects with this common language. But it was not really a very strategic planning around how much I could bring my message or how much I could be understood by them. I just did it. And so when we started the work on English, it was a way also to say to myself that was something I was really committing to and something that needed me to improve my English.
Mm. And so, what did you hope to get out of the sessions with me?
I hope to be able to have a better pronunciation and to speak in a more fluently way so not or just jumping from words to words,
Mm.
just to see that the sentence was there, but I didn't know how much it was clear, and being able to, yes, to build rapport with people I want to help.
Okay. So I'll ask you how you feel about how you achieve that in a moment. But before we talk about that, can you tell us what did we do together exactly so that people listening understand a bit more about what a session with me might be like?
So, so a very interesting thing is, we had a session where you helped me choose what were my priorities in English. So based on what you were seeing was my difficulties and on what I was seeking for myself, you helped me focus on parts we could work on and not just go broadly on everything, which was not possible, like in 3 months. So having this, yes, getting the scope of what we could do in 3 months, that was very useful. And from that, we had many different kind of sessions because some of them were about what was important for me in my work, and it was about videos you asked me to watch or to choose and then discussing on them, and it was about the pronunciation of some sounds like the H sound and the T sound,
Notoriously difficult sounds, not just for you, for lots of people.
and also checking ways to introduce like my lines in Facebook if I was using the proper words and the proper way to say that, and it was clear enough. So it was like, it was tailored, I think, on what on the path we were going together.
Mm.
So you were adjusting based on also maybe what were my reactions on the topics.
Yeah. So did you feel like you had enough of an input into being able to choose what we did and that it was really sort of more tailored to you rather than me coming and saying, okay, this week we're doing this and you just have to put up with it?
Yeah, sure. I think it was a good amount of inputs and choices,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes you just don't really know what you want to be working on, and you add the inputs and you were always knowing what the spots were to look at, and having the ability and the possibility to make choices on what the next session could be about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I definitely learned a lot too because we talked a lot about marketing and architecture and the mix, and I thought that was really a great thing for me too. So thank you for teaching me so many things that I was so interested in. That was great.
Thanks for listening.
You're welcome. My next question is going off the back of that question is what did you appreciate the most about working with me?
Um, so there is a part which is really important, it's the accountability. So knowing that you have to meet with someone each week, you can't just like you don't just let things well see or maybe later, and you are, oh, I don't want to meet with Tara and I have done my homework. Uh, so it's really powerful on this side. Um, and yes, it's a very it's like a peer talking, but when one has this kind of um, bird eye view on you and your English while we are having a peer conversation.
Yeah.
Uh, so the atmosphere was friendly, and it was really important because you gave me, yes, I talk a lot about marketing. Gave me space to embrace my passion in marketing and at the same time improve the way in which I was talking in English.
Yeah, so we did a lot of things like you producing the language, or for example, talking about your live, or we did the script for your Facebook live, and then we looked at some of the expressions and even some of the ways that we might express it or put stress and different intonation patterns and things like that. So I think that
Yes,
that was something that we
yes,
enjoyed doing together.
yes. Working on the sets was really helpful,
Yeah.
and
And did
that
you
was
implement it?
so. And I'm trying to implement it. And yes, like we said in some sessions, it's you say it, and I totally agree. It's like building a muscle. So it's not just theory you learn. You have to put stress on some words. It's like, okay, so if I use these words in this sentence, where do I need to put stress? And just trying to do it more and more.
Yeah. And so I guess, so we had our 12 weeks together and we had made some goals, as you said. So we identified, for example, some of the challenges that you had with pronunciation and maybe thinking about some of the ways of expressing yourself. Do you feel like at the end of the 12 weeks that you've walked away feeling like you've achieved what you set out to achieve?
Yes, I think uh, when I entered the coaching, like I like on the H sound,
Mm.
which I am continuing to improving. Um, I was not aware because I was aware in school, but when I decided to just to talk and communicate in English, my main focus was, okay, I just need to talk, and I just need to put myself in front of the people I want to be seen by. Um, so I was like not paying too much attention on some sounds, on some pronunciation, etc., just to avoid stopping myself. But in this way, I was not improving. So you helped me notice that, and then you helped me improve that.
Mhm.
Uh, so it was kind of unexpected, but I got away with a, a big improvement
Yeah.
on that.
I hope it wasn't too much of an unexpected. Oh, I
No,
didn't know.
no, that was really the good amount of
Good. Yes,
expected and unexpected.
we always try to keep a balance between, helping you push you forward, but we don't want to make you feel bad. That's for sure.
No, you never uh, I never felt bad, because
That's
the
good.
way you are coaching and you are teaching, it's really uh, on the positive side, and looking at how you can improve in a very friendly way. So I never felt like, oh, okay, I'm doing wrong, and I will need to to hide myself
I'm,
and
I'm very
stay dark
glad.
in the dark room. So that was never like that. So it was really, really helpful, and I think that's important to grow.
And so, do you feel like you will continue to use some of the strategies that we talked about in the coaching sessions beyond the coaching?
Yeah, definitely. So what I will take away as tools you gave me is paying attention and being more intentional also when I watch videos,
Mm.
because like for the marketing videos, when I watch something or I learn something, I'm focusing on the core of my job, which is the marketing side. So I was more like, I need to be sure I am understanding the concept, but I was not focusing, okay, so where are they stressing, what words are they using to let me understand what the concept is. So that's something I will definitely bring away with me. So paying attention on the marketing side and the English side,
Yes.
and audio deals were really interesting also as exercise.
Yeah, great. That they were something that we worked on early on, and it's something that I really noticed a big difference in your attention to pronunciation. So I think that's really good. So my last question for you is, if somebody was going to be working with me and you had to give them some advice about what do they need to do in order to get the most from it, what would you tell them?
Okay.
I'm
I think I
finishing on a
would.
difficult one. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I think I will tell them, yes, but they need to think it's a muscle. So it's not just, okay, I will show up in the 1 hour session and things are done. It's like, okay, the more you practice be in between the session, the more you will see speed. Uh, because it was also for me, I noticed the difference when I was doing the homework or when I was like a bit late on my homework. You were always pushing me to improve. So you can go even if someone is not doing his homework, you know what this person needs to do, but it's for ourselves. So if you can show committed and trying to use the best part of accountability also to keep you engaged in between the sessions, it's a way to give, yes, more efficiency
Efficiency, yeah.
efficiency to a process. And also, yes, I think be willing uh, to go on this path where not each step is clearly defined before, because you are defining the step while you are walking.
Mm.
Or that's how you feel, but maybe on your side it's defined. But as a student, it's okay. I'm just confident, and I'm trusting that I will walk in
Mm.
the right direction, and
Yeah.
just walk.
Yeah, that's great advice. I think that's exactly what I say to people, but it's always better coming from somebody else who has been through the process. And I think that very first session that we do together, when we figure out, okay, what exactly are your priorities, and you get to input into that. And I think that's really essential, because you get to understand what is the path that you would like to create. And of course, maybe some weeks that path changes or we adapt based on what's happening. But yeah, I think that's important. I think that's why that first session is so important, because we can understand what path you're on. And that's why I like to do that and make sure that I'm helping you in a really a way that's going to be the most useful for you possible.
Yes, that was really a powerful session and a great start.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I hope it was. Well, thank you, Marina. I think we've pretty much covered it. Is there anything else that you wanted to add, or is that okay?
I want to thank you because that was really, really an enjoyable process, um, which I really advise the professional architecture to follow. Um, and yes, I think you are a great coach, and that was really a big pleasure to work with you.
Well, thank you very much. That's very nice of you to say. All right, well, we'll end it there, and I'll see everyone soon. Oh.